Welcome. This Ro-Flo maintenance video demonstrates a single-phase mechanical seal disassembly, rebuilding, and reassembly. Prior to starting any work on a compressor, please note the following points for safety. Be sure the equipment is de-energized, following the proper lockout/tagout procedures. Isolate the compressor from the process. Be sure the work is being done by a qualified mechanic with the proper tools and personal protection equipment. The shaft seal is removed by sliding it off of the end of the shaft, so it is important to hand dress, deburr, and clean the shaft prior to beginning. The outermost piece of the seal assembly is the locking sleeve, which has a slip fit. This sleeve is held in place by 3 set screws. Each set screw has a locking screw on top of it that must be removed to loosen the set screw. The bolts holding the seal housing can now be removed. Note that the seal is spring-loaded, so it should be held in place until all of the bolts are removed, to prevent it from falling onto the shaft and damaging the carbon ring. Then, carefully and evenly slide the seal over the end of the shaft. Once the seal is removed, the seal's mating ring can be seen. On some models, the mating ring can be removed at this point. Other models require the seal adapter to be removed in order to get at the mating ring. Note that there is an anti-rotation pin in the shaft to locate the mating ring. The mating ring has a slip fit using an O-ring to hold it tightly on the shaft. Some force may be required to remove it. Inspect the seal assembly for signs of atypical wear, insufficient lubrication, contamination, and heat discoloration, which are all indicators of improper operation. There are 2 options for replacing worn seal components. Replace the entire seal assembly, or the existing seal can be rebuilt with a seal rebuild kit. Start by removing the snap ring, which will allow you to pull the carbon assembly, O-ring, and wave spring from the housing. The housing should be thoroughly cleaned prior to installing the new components. The new wave spring fits into the existing housing. Insert the O-ring into the groove in the carbon assembly bore. Place the carbon assembly into the seal housing. You will need to push the carbon assembly against the wave spring until the snap ring can be installed in the groove. The seal is now rebuilt and ready for reassembly. Both new and rebuilt seals need to be lubricated prior to installation. Push the carbon assembly to compress the wave spring, taking care not to touch the carbon face, and inject clean oil behind it. Recheck the shaft for burrs and sharp edges that could damage the mating ring's O-ring. Lubricate the shaft with oil. A new mating ring is part of the rebuild kit. Slide the new mating ring onto the shaft with the polished surface facing outward. The polished surface of the mating ring should not be touched. Engage the anti-rotation pin into the slot of the mating ring. Be sure to push the ring all the way on so it is tight against the shoulder. Install the O-ring into the seal housing. When reinstalling the seal, carefully and evenly press the housing against the seal adapter to compress the seal's spring. Hold the seal in place until all of the bolts have been installed. The last step is to put the locking sleeve back into place, sliding it onto the shaft until it makes contact with the seal. Be sure to use both set screws at each location to lock the sleeve into position. Routine maintenance of your Ro-Flo compressor will keep it operating smoothly for the years to come.